Fine. First of all, myself, I'm Swamy Naidu. I'm teaching UI technologies from past. Okay. So 13 years. I'm handling react.js, Angular, JavaScript sessions, and I'm working with the same platforms. In this demo class, I want to brief you what is React.js and what are the benefits. Before that, I want to share you one point. So this is add-on batch of an existing batch. Already 7:30 a.m. Okay. So not 7:30, sorry, 7:15 a.m. One batch is started. So for that batch, this is add-on batch. Means you people are going to add with that 7:15 a.m. batch. So once again, I'm repeating. So already one batch is started at 7:15. So 7:15. So means 45 minutes before of this time. So for that batch, this is add-on batch. Is it clear? After 3 days, okay, I will club you with the 7:15 batch. From then, your timings would be 7:15 to 8:15. 7:15 to 8:15. So that's why if the timing is convenient to you, then you can join. So initially, I'm informing prior notice I'm giving to you. You got my point? Raghu, Saira,
Yeah, we got you.
Ravi.
Sir. But one more thing,
Yes.
you told me like 7:15 batch is started. How
In
you
week,
gonna batch the sections? This is our first day, right?
this is your first day. This is your first day.
Mhm.
So I will combine with them. And what are the topics in this 1 week I discussed? Those I will cover, okay,
Okay,
parallelly.
okay. 7:15 a.m. class already started like week ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
So there
okay.
I covered JavaScript basics and next one introduction of React.js and
Mm-hmm.
next one array functions and types of functions. So these topics I discussed. Okay. So
Okay.
within 2 3 days, I will club you in that batch, and your batch also will run up to 4 days because I need to cover those sessions, right?
Got you.
Yeah. So 7:15 to 8:15. So that batch you will I'm covering clubbing you in 2 days, 2 or 3 days. At the same time, I will continue 8:15 to 9:15 to cover the backup. I mean, already completed sessions. So like that, after 4 days, no need to continue this 8:15 to 9:15. Only 7:15 to 8:15 is your regular time. You got my point? Means up to 4 days you have to attend 7:15 to 9:15.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah,
today
if it is
8:15 to 9:15 is fine. From tomorrow we have to join from 7:15 to 9:15, 2 hours a day.
not
First three
tomorrow,
days.
I will announce. Not
Okay,
tomorrow, not tomorrow. I will
okay.
announce in classroom. So within 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
Sure, sure.
You got my
Thank you.
point?
Yeah.
Yes. So, so this batch is add-on batch out. Yes. First of all, in this point of view, any doubts you have, you can ask. Yeah. I think you got the clarity because before going to the payment, it is better if I note this point here. That's why I informed to you. Okay. So then, according to your convenient, you will go for the payment process and all. Okay. Now come to the next. So we are going to discuss what is React.js. Okay. Yes. So React.js is React, Angular, JavaScript, Vue.js. Like that, we have many technologies in the software industry. So in development environment. So these all technologies we are using to work with the websites. Okay, to work with the websites. In website, we have two types of scriptings we are using: client-side script and server-side script. Okay. Now these technologies, which names I pronounced now, these all technologies comes under client-side technologies. Okay. Now here React.js is a client-side script to implement dynamic websites or web applications, anything. What is client-side script that I will discuss. Now, one more point I'm sharing with you. It is library of JavaScript. Yes. So if anybody asks you what is react.js, your answer should be, so it is a client-side script. It is library of JavaScript. Why we are using react.js to implement websites, not only websites, even mobile apps also we can implement. So that time we are taking the support of React Native. Okay, we are taking the support of React Native. So now we are discussing what is client-side script. Yes. If we take any website development, we have two phases. One is design. Second one is coding. In website development, we have two phases. The first one is design phase and second one is coding phase. Okay. In design phase, we are creating user interfaces. So for example, if you observe this now, for example, I'm going to open this facebook.com. So this is one user page, means user interface. Okay. So if you open Gmail, you are seeing the page like this, okay, with the text box and button. Like that, every website, once you open any website, for example, if you open Flipkart, so this is user interface. So to design these user interfaces, okay, so we are using this phase. So in this phase, what are the technologies we are using? HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. These are the technologies we are using here. To design the user interfaces, we are using so HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. User interface in nothing but the web page screen, that's all, with some images, controls like text boxes, menus, radio buttons, etc. etc. Next one, coding to implement logics. Why we are in the coding part here? To implement the logics. Yes. In this coding point of view, we have two types of codings here. One is client side. Second one is server side. Yes. In this coding point of view, we have two types. The first one is client side and second one is server side. Client side means the script which executes in browser. The client side code executes where in browser. Okay. Who is using browser? Client. Client means here the person who is accessing the website. Don't think the person who is paying for the project development. So that is also client, but in our point of view, so client means in website point of view, client means the person who is opening the website. For example, see, I open Flipkart. Now I am the client of means visitor. Client in element visitor here. So Flipkart, like that. Now I open Facebook. I'm the client of Facebook. So what I'm using here, browser I'm using. It may be Internet Explorer. Now it is Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. Okay, Safari, Firefox, any browser you can use. So in this Facebook, what the client side script implemented? So that executes where? In browser, means in our browser. So if I right click on the browser and open with the view page source, now you can see some code it displays here. Okay. So this is the code. Is it implemented by me? No. So just I'm user of this Facebook. When I enter facebook.com, this code is downloaded into my browser and executed in my browser. Is it clear? Yes. The original code is downloaded, means client side code is downloaded into my browser and there it is executed. Is this clear? Yes. So that's why that script which is executing in client system with the help of browser. We'll call the script as client-side script. Server-side script executes in web server. Like that, we have these two types of scriptings. One is client-side script. Second one is server-side script. Is it clear? Client-side script executes in browser. For example, if you implement any logics by using JavaScript or next level technologies in JavaScript like React, Angular, jQuery, all this comes under client-side scripting languages. Yes, yeah. So if you implement any logics by using JavaScript or next level technologies JavaScript, all this comes under client-side scripting languages. Now server-side script executes where in web server. Okay, means here this Facebook contains some server-side script. It executes in Facebook server only. So those logics result will download into my browser. Like that, Flipkart related server-side code executes in Flipkart server. Only client-side script executes in our browsers. For example, if you take PHP or Java JSP servlets or ASP, okay, next one Node.js, all these technologies comes under server-side scripting languages. So you want to develop any dynamic website. So actually, what is the meaning of dynamic website? A website which contains coding, not only designing, also contains coding. That we are calling as dynamic website. Okay, a website which contains both design and coding, we are calling it as dynamic websites. So static website means it contains only design part, but dynamic website contains both designing as well as coding. That is the main point of this. So in this coding point of view, two phases we have. One is client side, second one is server side. And client side code executes where in the browser. Server side code executes where in the web server. If you implement any logics by using either JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, jQuery, etc., all this comes under client side logics. Okay, and if you take JSP, PHP, Node, ASP, okay, Python with Flask, all this comes under server side technologies. Okay, so here, what is React.js? React.js is a client side script to implement dynamic websites. Is it clear? So that is the point of this. Okay, yes. So I think you got some clarity about this. What is dynamic and what is static, right? Yes. So what is dynamic and what is static? That clarity you got. Now we are discussing how to, what are the functionalities we can do with these technologies, client-side scripting languages. Definitely in interview, they will ask one question. Why we are using the client-side scripting languages? Why we are using client-side scripting languages? Okay, so for that, yeah, client-side scripts, we are using first one to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML elements. Yeah. What is the meaning of dynamic functionality? So we have HTML elements, nothing but HTML controls like image, text box, button, okay, like that. So all HTML controls by default static. You want to convert them as dynamic, then we are using client-side scripts. Here a bit confusion we have. I will show you one program to get the clarity in this point of it. Now I am creating one file on the desktop, demo.html. I have given that file or the demo.html. Now in this file, so I have image, one image is there, image system, orange image is there, that I want to display on the web page. What is the web page I created? Demo.html. In this web page, just inside this body, don't try to understand the code. Okay, just see the result. one image control, HTML control I have taken. So in this control, what the source of the image, okay, you want to display that SRC property we are using here. So source is equal to orange.jpg and width is equal to something like 100 pixels again. See, at the time of designing this web page, I have given two properties to this image control. One is SRC, next one is width. These two properties. So at the time of designing this web page, now loading that web page in the browser. Yeah, where is that I created? Yes, you can see this. It's a demo.html, right? Now, if I right click and open with any browser, Chrome or Firefox, something. So with those properties, it displays the output here. Now, that image is coming there. What are the properties again? SRC as well as width. Now, my requirement is this is runtime. At the time of design, what are the properties are given? With these properties, it is loaded into the browser. This is runtime. Now, in this runtime, I want to change the source. What is the source we have? Orange. So that source I want to change with another image. In my browser, I have pineapple.jpg. So now my requirement is if user click on the image control, I want to change that source as pineapple.jpg. Or if user move the mouse over this image, I want to increase width. What the width I have given? 100 pixels. That width I want to increase to something like 200, like that. You got my point? Yes. In this, by default, HTML is not supporting for us. We can't do anything with this HTML. So we are taking the support of these client escapes like JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, etc. Because HTML is static, only design time what we provided. So it is loading into the browser, means into runtime. In runtime, you want to change properties, not possible with HTML. We're taking the support of these client-side technologies. So for example, here I will show you one point. So, I have given one statement now. So right now I'm using JavaScript. Later I will discuss the same with REACTJS. On click is equal to, so source I'm changing with the new source for that pineapple.jpg, that is JavaScript. So if I refresh this once and click on this one, it is changed to JavaScript. I mean pineapple. Means what the concept here? So at the time of loading, running the application, we can change the properties. So that point only I have given here. Yes. Yes. To apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Not only change the source. For example, if you observe this website, yes. See, if I move mouse, that image size is increasing, right? That is nothing but client-side script. A bit big size. So in our program also we want to do the same. Simple. So we are taking, I will discuss later what is on mouse forward, everything. Okay, just to now see the result of this. Okay, now JavaScript for that. Okay. Style width is equal to 130 pixels or something like. Now refresh, move mouse, see it is increased. Yes. So once again, if you observe here, move mouse here, it is increased. And when I click on this, it is changed. So these are all comes under dynamic functionalities. Second point, to validate input controls. Yes. So validations, for example, if you observe here, okay, Yeah, take the Facebook only. Now here, just we have sign up button. Immediately validations are popping now. So enter the first name. Okay, what is your name, surname? Like that. These are all the validations. In this validations point of view, we are taking the support of these client-side technologies. Is it clear? Yeah. You want to highlight the control with this color, everything. Okay. Next point is to work with Ajax. So this is very important for us. Okay. So you want to work with the Ajax, then also we're taking the support of this client-side technologies. So Ajax we are using to send a request to the server without submitting the current web page. Okay. For example, if you observe the Google, see, if you open Google. Now this is Google text box. If I type any character here, what is happening? One request is going to the server for every character. One request is going to the server. See, you want to send any request to the server, there are two ways. One is submit concept is there. By using the submit button, we can send the request from browser to web server. That is the first procedure. Second one is Ajax also we can use. So what the difference between these two? Submit button means it submits the entire page, but Ajax is not submitting the entire page. So with the required data in backend process, it is sending the request to the server. For example, I typed C or I. So now here this information is coming from where? This information is coming from server. Okay. So not from your browser, it is coming from server. But the page is not reloading, means page is not submitting. Why? Because this mechanism is working with Ajax. Not only this one, it's chart, if you take here, so in your Gmail chart or Facebook chart, if you type any message and click on the send button, so that message is going to the server. That time one request is going from your browser to server, but the page is not reloading that time. So because that is also working with Ajax. Like cricket live score, if you observe, for every 1 second or 2 seconds or 5 seconds, the score is updating in our browser. Means updated score is coming from server to browser. So that time also page is not reloading. Means this mechanism is working based on Ajax. Like that, you want to call in companies. You are working with companies. In future, you will work with companies. Okay. So that time you're working as a React developer. So then you want to connect with these. Okay, server-side programmer API services, because that is compulsory. You need to connect with the API services. You need to call the API services. We are calling them as endpoints. In that point of view, also Ajax we are using. Like that, here the thing is Ajax we are using to work with the different areas. Okay, so that is completely client-side script. I will discuss in React classes how to connect with the backend API services and how to fetch the data from backend. Everything I will discuss with you. So this is very, very important for us. So to work with the Ajax concept, we are taking the support of this client-side technologies. So we are spending around 4 days to discuss this Ajax concept. Next one, to execute logics. Not only applying dynamic functionalities, validations, and working with Ajax, you want to execute logics. Then also we are taking the support of this client-side technologies. Yes. So actually logics we can implement using both client-side script as well as server-side script. We can use both. Now, what is the benefit of client-side script? Yeah, I will tell you that. For that, a small diagram. Okay. Now this is one web server. Okay. Now this is one web page. Assume that this is a bank application. So the page name is loan dot something. So if it is Java, JSP, or .NET ASP, like that. Okay. So only pure HTML is JavaScript, then .html. Then some X is trying to access this page. And in this page, you are displaying the text boxes. One is to enter the loan amount. Second one is to enter the months, how many months. And this is one button to calculate every month in EMI. Okay. Yes. Now user entered some loan amount and the tenure around 60 months like that. When he click on this button, so based on your parameters, means rate of interest, okay, processing fees, everything, you are calculating EMI. So for that, you are executing one function. Is it clear? So this logic you can implement by using either client side script or server side script. So either client side script or server side script. Is it clear? Yes. Now, if I implement this logic in client side script, so when client means user click on the button, yes, there only that logic executes and immediately can see the result. In case if the website contains logic in server side script, when client click on this button, one request is going to the server, there that logic is processing and response is coming back to the browser. For this request and response means for this round trip, it takes some time. Through network, internet connection, and then this process is happening. That's why it takes some time. Due to that reason, most of the logics in website development, we are implementing through client-side technologies because the performance is very fast. Is it clear? So that's why we can easily say 70% is code in any website. So if you take, so 70% is 65 to 70% is code is client side. Remaining code is server side. Now you can ask me one question, sir, where we are using the server side technologies, not we. Okay, server side programmers, that is separate team who are working with Java, .NET, etc. So those persons we are calling as server-side programmers. We are UI developers, front-end programmers. Okay. So server-side programmers, mostly they are concentrating with the database connectivities, everything. So database is available in the web server, right? Not in the client system. So that's why to establish a connectivity with database and to insert the data in the database to fetch the data. In that point of view, take the support of servers and technologies and to create the sessions as well as tokens like that. In this point of view, mostly server-side scripting languages we are using. Remaining all point of view means how to present this data. So server-side programmer creating one API service to read this data and the data he is sending to the front end. Through Ajax, we are accessing. But how to display the data in the tabular format or any other format. So that entire is deciding by client-side programmer only. So in the data presentation point of view and UI controls means HTML controls, handling point of view. Okay. And next one, Ajax point of view on validations and to execute logics in all point of views, client side role is very, very high. And that's the reason we have huge requirements with this client side technology in the software industries. So anyhow, these are the main areas where we are using to work with these client side technologies. Is it clear? Yes. Now, who implemented this React.js? Actually, in Facebook, in 2013, okay, Mr. Jordan working with the team members of Facebook, he implemented this React.js in the year 2013. Actually, they proposed a prototype in 2011 and released this version in 2013. What the main reason to implement this? Yes, the main reason is they wanted to add some more features in the Facebook chat concept. They wanted to add some more features in the Facebook chat concept. So for that, they implemented this React.js in the 2013. The main initial purpose is okay, internal usage. Later, they added more functionalities and released it to outside. Then from other websites, developers in other websites, they also used this React.js. So like that in many websites like Instagram, this Flipkart, Apple websites. Many websites contains React coding in front-end point of. See, one straight point, website development you want to do, compulsory two types of scriptings are required. One is client side, another one is server side. In client side, only one technology, ultimate technology, that is JavaScript. So if you take React, Angular, jQuery, Vue.js, all these technologies related to JavaScript only. These are all the mother technology for these all technologies, nothing but JavaScript. Okay. So they added many more features in this next level technologies and they released it. In this next level technologies, most popular technologies are React and Angular. So website development is very common in companies. In all companies, around 80% applications are web applications and mobile apps. Okay. So in these web applications, mobile apps, both front end and back end is common. Front end coding and back end coding is common. Only in designing point of view, technology is changing. In web application, we are using HTML. In Android apps, we are using Android for the designing the screens, activities, and iPhone, some related technologies we are using. But in coding point of view, there also front-end coding and back-end coding that is common. So front-end we are using these technologies, JavaScript, React, etc. In back-end, server-side technologies we are using. Okay. So here in this front end, in old days, programmers used to work with JavaScript, and these days, next level technologies of JavaScript like React and Angular. In this React and Angular, so React has many huge openings than Angular, but even Angular also good. Okay, so these two technologies playing very important role in this UA point of view, in this UA development point of view, not designing point of view. In designing point of view, we are using HTML. For the web and mobile, we are using that mobile related technologies. In UI development point of view, so these technologies playing very important role. In server side development point of view, that is our choice, JSP or Node.js. See, Node.js also product of JavaScript. Is it clear? So if you know the JavaScript, so you can easily go with the React or Angular or Node.js or jQuery, Next.js, like the different technologies are there. Is it clear? So like that in server side point of view, their choice. Okay, they want to use PHP, they can use. They want to use JSP, they can use like that. In UI point of view, that to coding point of view. So these two technologies are very popular. These two technologies, React has many openings these days compared with Angular. That is 100% is true. So I will tell you the reasons also why React contains more demand these days. Okay, why we have more openings. So I will discuss that one also. So anyhow, here Jordan work in the year 2013. He implemented with the team members, along with the team members. Okay, this React.js, and it belongs to Facebook. Okay, React.js is the product of Facebook. The main reason to implement this React is to use in their Facebook application. Later, they release it to outside. From then, everyone started working with this React.js. The basic version is 1.0. Okay, and current version is 19.x. Okay, so if you download now, 19.2 packages will come. Is it clear? Yes. Now I told you one more point here. It is library of JavaScript. What is the meaning of library? So library is nothing but providing some additional features, functionalities to the main technology, core technology. So mother technology, whatever it may be, that is nothing but JavaScript. Means if you take React, Angular, all these providing some additional features. What are missing in JavaScript, those are added here. And short coding is there. Okay, simplified coding is there. I mean simplified coding. So that is the library concept. Library is providing some additional features. Okay, yes. So I think you got some clarity in this point of view. Yeah. So from your side, any questions you have, you can ask me or you can ping in the chat window also. No doubts, no questions. So till now, what I discussed in technical point of view, Lalit, Raghav, all of you clear what is client-side script,
Sir,
what is
that
server-side script?
sir,
What, Lalit?
what is the difference between React and React Native? You said React Native we are using for mobile applications.
Yes, mobile application development. See, in
Okay,
mobile application development, to create the mobile screens and all, we are using native. We are
native.
using native. Coding point of view, we are using React.
Sure,
You
sure,
got my point? In website development point of view, to create the web screens, everything, we are using HTML to design
sure.
the screens, everything, means web pages. Coding point of view, React. So coding means which coding? Front end coding or back end coding? Client side coding or server side coding? Client side coding. Okay. So
Yes,
in mobile as well as web, server side coding is also required. So that time server side programmer they're choosing whether use Node.js or PHP or Java .NET. That is their choice. But these both apps, mobile apps as well as websites, both required client side as well as server side coding. You got it?
yes, yes.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Sir, if you don't mind, can you explain the course curriculums, like what we gonna learn in this course?
Yes, I will explain the pattern, everything now. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So,
duration of the course.
yeah. So, first of all, here, if you don't have any technical questions, then I will go for the next step. That is course pattern. What are the things we are covering? Everything I will discuss. No more technical questions in this point of view. Okay. Now, to work with this React.js, you should have idea on JavaScript. JavaScript is prerequisite is to learn this React.js. You must have idea on the JavaScript. Okay, here you may have idea, may not. I don't know. Because JavaScript point of view, complete JavaScript is required. Remember this, if you are attending any interview, first of all, they will ask you the JavaScript questions. Okay. First, they will ask you the JavaScript questions. Then later only they're asking the React.js questions. Is it clear? Yes. Now here, just JavaScript, I will discuss here. Complete JavaScript we will discuss. For this JavaScript, we are spending around 20 to 24 days only for JavaScript. In that JavaScript, I will discuss all concepts like hosting. Next one, DOM objects. Okay, window object. Okay, BOM objects, browser object model. Okay, like document, navigator, etc. Ajax concept, asynchronous programming, async await, hoisting, closures. Okay, debouncing, okay, events, like that. Many concepts are there in JavaScript. Those are all we are discussing. You want to see those concepts? If you go to the DurgaSoft official website, okay, that website. So if you click on the React.js, any means I will show you that one also. Okay, now here that content is available. Yes, DurgaSoft online training. Now in this table, you can see React.js somewhere. It is loading still. There we can find out the course content. I will show you that course content also. So anyhow, JavaScript is very, very mandatory. After that JavaScript, I'm starting the React.js. For this React.js, 45 days minimum I'm taking. So that's why total course duration is around 65 days. Got it? It is around 65 days. We have the total course duration. Is it clear? Yes. They are showing many pics. That's why the site is loading a bit slow. Okay, so let it be load. So the pattern is first I'm starting with JavaScript, and after that we are starting the React.js concepts. Later, okay, in React.js, we are discussing functional components, class components. Actually, two types of components we have in React.js. So functional as well as class components, but concentrate more on functional components because in companies we are using functional components. It is providing more lifecycle hooks and easy to maintain the state of application, everything. Okay. So that's why first we are discussing the functional components. In that functional components, all the lifecycle hooks, single page application, like the different types of concepts we have, we will discuss all these concepts. And the database connectivity by using API service calls. Okay. So I will show you how to connect with the Node.js API services and Java API services like that from by using the Ajax. And bootstrap integration, all these things we are discussing. Now here in this table, you can find out React.js or search for this. So React. Yes. Now if you click on this is the course content. So first one is JavaScript and this is React.js. Okay. So actually we don't discuss the each and every lifecycle hook, simple lifecycle hooks we mentioned here. So lifecycle methods and HTTP development like that. So here only for this lifecycle hooks we are spending around 1 week days. Only for single page application means routing concept we are spending around 6 to 7 days like that. Okay. So here that's why course duration is 65 days minimum it will take, and sometimes it is extending to 70 days also. Okay. And every day 1 hour session, initial demo classes, 2, 3 demo classes, I'm spending around 50 minutes like that. After that, 1 hour session every day. Yes. Yeah. So I will provide you the recordings. Okay. Once this demo is completed, so they will get the Google Drive access. Those who are registered for them, Google Drive access will get. Okay. So through that, you can access the recordings. Okay. Everything. I will upload the date class, everything there. Is it clear? Yes. And already I told you, so this is add-on batch of 715 batch. So within 2, 3 days, I will club you that 715. So you are going to add with that batch. Okay. So that's why up to 4 or 5 days, you have to attend 715 to 815 and 815 to 915. Later, 715 to 815. But I will announce when I'm planning this pattern. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I will announce. From then, you can join with that batch. So your original timings are 7:15 to 8:15. So those timings are convenient, then only you can go for the payment process, everything. Okay, after these demos. Is it clear? Yes. So tomorrow you should join by 8 o'clock. So 8, 8, 5 like that. So meeting will start by 8 o'clock only. So tomorrow join by 8 o'clock. So I will announce either tomorrow, day after tomorrow about the 7:15. From then you can join by 7:15 to 8:15. That is the main batch of you, and 8:15, 9:15 backup concepts, which already I covered in that 7:15 batch. Once those concepts completed, then no need to attend from 8:15 to 9:15. It will continue by 7:15 to 8:15. Yes. Yeah, classes 6 days a week up to Saturday. Sunday we don't have class. Yes. Any more doubts? Yeah.
In this course, we are not going to learn TypeScript. Hence, you mentioned we are like a class to function components. Function components, we don't need TypeScript.
See, in functional component, you want to use TypeScript, you can use. Even in class components, also you want to use TypeScript, you can use. Okay.
Okay.
So both the JavaScript and TypeScript, both scripts you can use to work with these React components. Okay.
Okay. But in our course, we are just learning JavaScript.
We are discussing Java because what is TypeScript? Superset of JavaScript, right? Even you want to work with the TypeScript, you must know JavaScript. Additionally, is providing what? So some OOPS concepts and data types. Okay, mainly types it is providing data types. So even if you take TypeScript after compilation, it is converting into JavaScript. Actually, we should not call it as compilation, transpiling. Okay, TypeScript, once you compile the TypeScript means it's nothing but transpiling into JavaScript. It is converting into JavaScript. That JavaScript only browser can understand. Browser can't understand TypeScript directly. Yes. Transpiling means converting one high level language into another high level language, means TypeScript to JavaScript. Compilation means converting one high level language into mission understandable language. So here, if you take TypeScript that has to convert into JavaScript, then only it is converting into mission understandable script. So you want to work with the TypeScript. So this is also very easy once you practice with JavaScript. So simple changes. If you want one example, also I will show you in our running classes. See, this is project-based batch. In project pointer, we'll discuss many applications, okay, like shopping cart related, add to cart, these type of functionalities I will teach here. But don't expect the complete project. Okay. So complete project is separate batch. It is 3 months batch. But to attend that complete project, you must have idea on these concepts. Without this is the main for you. So once you understand routing concept and life cycle hooks, communication with the API services, okay, and how to work with the state management, all these concepts we will discuss here. In project directly, we are using those concepts. Okay, here mini project point of view I will teach the concepts. Okay, yes. Any other doubts? If no, so then we will meet again tomorrow at 8 a.m. Okay, we can drop the session now. Thank you.